The button has been pushed. Hello and welcome. What's up, guys? We got a big episode this week. Shay, how you doing?
Doing fine, buddy. I got my coffee and my favorite, the booby mug, which is always wonderful.
The booby mug.
Guys, you're perfect.
I also, you guys might know this Tyler from some of our other episodes. He's on the back. I really needed to make sure that he was here for Officious Turquoiser.
It took him a second.
Yes. All right. So
the general wrongdoers.
The general wrongdoers. I had to do it, boys. I had to do it. But we got the guys of Spafford here, believe it or not. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going? Thanks for having us.
Man, thank you for finding the time. You guys are getting ready for a big tour, right? Coming in June?
Yes. Oh, and I was texting Sean to say that his connection's not very good, and you just froze for like 20 minutes like this.
It's probably because he went outside. And Sean, make sure that you're on your Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, they're just going to tell you to fuck right off.
Yeah.
Just doing it wrong.
Restart. First one.
Yeah, no, let's go. Way to go. Thank you, Sean. God damn it, you're the troublesome one of this group, aren't you?
Wait, did you mean to say Officious Turquoiser? It's Officious Tortfeaser.
Wait.
Tortfeaser.
Oh, because I fucked it up?
Yes.
I thought you were making like a joke of the joke.
No. Say it, Brian.
Officious
Which is why I'm so glad that you changed it to fucking Spafford, so us general folk can actually spell it and say it out loud. Okay.
That's the reaction we actually got when we said that was the band's name.
Yeah, and then you're like, just call us Bob. But that's not. So you guys
I did go Bob.
You are Spafford. Sean, the one that's been fucking around all morning. You're the newest member to the crew, right?
I'm the new guy.
Who's connected?
And god damn it, Sean and his connection. Are you on Wi-Fi, Sean? Are you at a Starbucks with 35 other people?
No, it's a long story. I'm not at my house. It's a long story. I'm not at my house.
He's on lo-fi.
Sorry. Lo-fi.
No, it's all good. His service is.
Does that house have Wi-Fi?
No, I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I don't know what the Wi-Fi is here.
1, 2, 3, 4, Sesame Street.
That's right. Exactly. Let me get that. And
fuck. Okay. I'll Sean,
back.
I don't know if we're going to be able to ask him questions.
I'll come back.
I don't think so either.
Keep going.
Sean, we're kicking you out.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Keep going. This is a great start.
Fly, you fools.
Hey, listen, so actually this is a great segue because with all the shit that happens, like you guys are the jammiest of jam bands, right? And for us that love guitars, you guys fuck. And so finding yourselves in situations just like this, it's kind of hard to navigate, right? So for you guys as a band, when you're doing this musically and you're out and you're playing these licks and somebody's playing the keys and somebody's trying to play the drums behind it as the backbone, like how do you navigate through some of these long, because you guys, not only do you jam, but you're changing genres, you're changing tempos, you're doing so much to the music all at once. How the fuck does it not come out like that just did in our podcast studio, where it's just discombobulated and not connected?
That is what you're hearing sometimes. You are hearing the disconnection. And then finally, when it gets connected and the Wi-Fi snaps on, then there's this aha moment that us as the players and you as the listeners, we were on this journey together of discombobulation. And then it turns beautiful and it connects, and that's what we're in this for. That's why we do this.
Well, and that's what's wild is, so like obviously there's been an evolution of Spafford that's happened over the last year or so. So like bringing Sean in, and besides him having terrible fucking internet and bad time management, how has it been bringing him in and getting him used to the band and being a part of that? Because I don't feel like it's something that somebody can easily jump into and just do, right? Because it's not like you guys are coming and playing the same 2-minute and 45-second songs night after night, right?
We do the same thing night after night.
Yeah, but
that's actually one of our songs. That's a lyric from one of our songs that you just said.
Yes. And that's what the thing is like, but how do you guys like, how do you bring someone in and how do you make sure that that chemistry and connection is happening, especially for someone, oh, here, speaking of the devil, let's see. Hey, Sean, were your ears burning? We were talking
Wow,
about
he
you.
looks HD now. Now he's got a better camera than
Hey.
Corey's.
Fucking
that's
Sean.
He's a
It says
real live
actual
boy.
I made
Yeah.
it.
What's going on, buddy? So I was actually just talking to the guys about you being the new addition to the band and with the evolution, but not only the style of music that you guys play, like for you as a bass player, how was it to come in and not to throw you right into the fire after you get connectivity, but here you come. How was it jumping in and like, cause it's so jam heavy and what we were talking about is transcending different genres and tempos and speeds and things like that. How was it for you to come in as a bassist and provide some of those, because you're essentially the backbone, right? Between you and the drums, like you guys need to hold that so that they can go out there on these wild journeys with us and then come back in.
Well, it certainly it was quite a learning experience. It's always different playing with different people. Everyone has their own voice, and trying to connect with that musically. I've definitely like. If you listen to the shows at the beginning versus the shows to what I'm doing now, things have changed a lot. But yeah, I would say that I have a lot of experience with different styles of music. Like I've played in a video game, like a video game music cover band, like a long
That's
time ago
yes.
awesome.
with Pharrell from Dopapod. Like we were in a band together at Berkeley. And I was in a Nigerian church music band. Like I've done a lot of different kinds of music. Like I played, jazz and funk, and I was doing top 40 pop music. And
So like
I don't know.
obviously you obviously have the skill set and that's why they brought you on, right? But like
Mhm.
now going on stage, right? And you guys are all
Yeah.
out there together. Like who's giving who the dirty looks? Like how do you communicate as you're like out there on this? Like you're like, oh fuck, Nick is drumming really fucking hard. We need to get out of this, right? Like or like
Yeah,
what
smoke
happened?
signals.
For sure. But like you have to learn that over time, right? And like
Mhm.
for you guys as a band, was it hard for you to like incorporate the journey of Sean coming on? Because like having the foundation is one thing, right? But then like applying it is a whole nother thing. And then for you guys as you expand and evolve, it's just gonna keep growing, kind of like the band has.
Yeah, I mean, like what we like to do is take this risk, and sure, you can find any players that can play, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, whatever, but then there's this jam section, which is basically the band taking a high-speed train and just flying right off a cliff, okay? And we're just soaring. And I think that that's what's most fun about what Spafford does is it allows any player to come in, no matter how much experience they have with other bands or anything like they've never experienced something like this, which is okay. Now it's up to you and to us and this chemistry. It's either going to work or it's not, and that's person to person or even song to song. But I think that that's what we allow the players to do and try to get them to. I don't know, express themselves in ways with their instrument that maybe they never have before.
That's awesome. So then Corey, do you feel like for you to come in there, like how do you find your voice, right? In a band, like how are you not speaking over someone or cutting off people? Like how do you find the timing?
Well, I've said this before, and when I first played a couple shows with Spafford, just first of all, I was surprised at how easy it was. And, personalities of people is like in the band is like half of it. And like Sean and me and Brian and Nick, and off the stage, it's kind of a similar situation where we find our ins and outs and like who's handling this kind of joke the majority of the time and like who's doing that. But definitely just takes playing with each other, and we do the majority of our work live on stage, pretty much all of it, in the moment.
And are you guys still not writing set lists? Do you have to plan things out a little bit more now?
I think that when Shon came on, it helped him to have set lists because we gave him, I don't know, something like 80 or 90 songs within like just a couple weeks to learn.
That's
Yeah.
wild. Talk
Yeah.
about trial by fire.
Yeah, I
and
was
each one of
listening in
those
the car a bunch.
Yeah, and each one of those songs could be, 15, 20, or 30 minutes, which that part you don't really, you can't like prepare yourself for that. We just got to say like, hey, I know that you learned the song, and now we do this jam. It's Sean's like, okay, like I'm here for it, and yeah, we definitely had to like learn that, develop that, as this group for a little while. But yeah, I think sometimes we plan something set list wise, and sometimes we nail it, and sometimes we make audibles, and sometimes we're in another song and we hear something else that it should go into, so we do that instead. And I think we're taking a little bit more risks with the set lists lately.
So then how do you do that,
And
Brian? Like mid-transition, like, do you like look at each other and you're like, oh, fuck, that sound like this. Like, we're going to go into this. Like, is it the nonverbals, or like how are you able to like feel that?
I think that when we look at the music, modally, we can say like, okay, we're in this key and we want to get to this key. And there is literally, we could do it in one step, we could do it in 4 steps, we could do it in 7 steps, and each step along the way. And that is unprepared for us. I can have it in my mind that, okay, to get from this key to this key, we'd probably go here, and then maybe we go here. And then I'd start to do that, but then Sean's hearing, based on what I'm playing, something completely different. So he goes somewhere else, and I'm like, well, that wasn't that's not the key that I was thinking we were going to go to, but hey, this will work too, because then maybe now we can go, and like, if you just patiently cruise through the keys like that, as we're changing the keys, Nick is simultaneously, either changing the tempo or the rhythm.
So
And
that's
then,
what I was
and
going
that's
to
just
ask
what,
is Nick, for you, how do you pick up on some of that stuff, right? And like, do you kind of take charge sometimes to start transitioning them in tempo?
Yeah, my job is the tempo for the most part.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of plays a role in the rhythm and how things move rhythmically. Like, yeah, I take a lot of responsibility with moving the tempo, and it's really fun. It's like in the beginning, it was inspired by like DJs and how DJs moved the tempo up of like one track while like mixing into another track. And then I heard like bands like Disco Biscuits and like another band that I like that's like an electronic live band called Nerve with a really good drummer named Jojo Mayer. They also did that. They like sped up the speed of their songs in order to transition to another one. So I really love that, and it's really fun to do.
Yeah, and it seems
But
like
sometimes Sean does it, or sometimes Brian does it, or sometimes Corey does it.
and so you guys kind of have to feed off of each other, right? And so like now you have all your originals, but you also, who's in charge? Like, who hears some of this shit and they're like, oh, we're gonna open with Celine Dion. Like, who's picking these covers? Like, where I love, for people that don't know and don't follow Spafford, there's an amazing site for the nerd herd called Spaff Nerds, and they have all of your guys' set lists and covers, and you can search for songs, and you can do it. What the fuck? Now I'm fucking around, guys.
See, it's not
I
my
think my
fault.
meds
Yeah,
are kicking in, man.
Oh, dude. Cody, we got to get you an Ethernet cable to plug directly into your setup instead of being on the Wi-Fi in the basement.
Don't, Shay. You
I'm
fucking
gonna.
Shay, don't. Shay.
Hey, by the way, Tyler, we're going to need you to be quiet for a second so someone else can
shut
talk.
the fuck up. That's the first time you said anything.
Well, fuck all of you guys. But hold on, let's get back to this, okay?
Anyway.
Because Spaff Nerds has this amazing database, right? Which is free to all of your fans. You can go, you can record the shows that you've been at. You can see the different covers. You can see the last time played. You can see all this stuff. You can see when they opened with Celine Dion.
What about Tyler, dude? What about Tyler? Let's get Tyler up in here.
Yeah, put Tyler on the spot.
Tyler
Let's
needs
talk
to.
about Plush. It's the Stone Temple Pilots one. It crushes. Let's talk about that one, Brian. How did
I have
you
not seen that one when I was looking, so that's awesome.
Yeah, what made you want to? Or who chose it? Who was the deciding factor in saying, "Hey, this is something that I want to cover. Let's dig into this."
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of 90s rock, 92.3 K Rock. Shout out to you, New Jersey, being the soundtrack to my life. And that's, they played all that shit, and so that's ingrained into me as a musician and as a person. So, you know, I don't actively seek out those songs as much anymore, but we listen to them, you know, we ran those cassettes, you know, dry when we had them. So kids, you might have to look up what a cassette tape is on Google. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, one day I probably came on the radio and I was like, oh man, this would be so hot to do, you know? And I think even the first time that we did it, we just played it like the original. Now, one of the things that we try to do is we do try to avoid playing other songs that other bands play. And it's hard to do that because you can kind of scrub the internet a little bit and see like, oh, did this band play it or did this band play it? And like, how many times did they? Like, all right, we got, you know, we can do it. You know, or there's some songs that we pick that no band has ever played, so then it would be really unique to us. Plush was something that we started playing, and then I started looking and I realized that like some other bands were playing it, but everybody was playing it the same way. So then with Nick's electronic background, we were like, okay, sometimes we take some of our songs and throw, you know, this electronic, you know, ness to it. So let's try that with Plush. And let me tell you, it just sat in the pocket and it just worked. And now I don't think that we would play the song the original way ever again.
It fucks hard. Like,
And actually, the first time we played it the original way, which was at Luna del Lago Music Festival in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
But that was the only time we played it the original.
Yeah, as soon as we did, I was like, it's so cliche. Like, I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to see Spafford play Boogie on Reggae Woman. Like, it's just not going to happen. That's not the covers you're going to get from us, you know? You know, we're going to try to pick more obscure covers. That's just what's fun to us.
Would you say you guys can explore that more? Like with Plush, would you say on the next show you guys wanted to play it and sound check, you might talk about, hey, let's try to dive into the more electronic side of Plush and the sound, because you guys' sound checks are awesome. So how does a sound check kind of mold your night moving forward into a show?
Yeah, and I think sometimes in sound check we realize that we, you know, it sounds really good. We feel really connected. We like the stage. We can envision what the room's going to feel like, you know, being full. And some of those nights are the deciding factor on whether or not we decide to like, dude, let's just play this one song. You know, or we have a whole set list written out, you know, 5-6 songs or something like that. But if the first song, let's just jam it. And if the jam is hitting, don't try to go into the next song. Let's just keep jamming. And that's like some nights when we would just play, you know, 1 or 2 songs for a set. That comes from sound check. Man, fuck.
I know.
Sucked,
I'm fucking
dude.
Sorry, Brian. I'm gonna leave and come back in and go on.
My answer sucked. You blurred me because my answer sucked.
Looks like he's tuning in from the shower.
Yeah.
It's all steamy.
We're gonna get this fucker on a hardwired connection. This Wi-Fi shit's not working.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee.
I don't know. When does it come out?
That's an important question.
It's like today or tomorrow or something.
Yeah, Dark Ages, right? Oh man, I'm
Dark
super.
Ages. Let's go.
Release date. It's really soon. 15th. So a couple days.
15.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one because I guess it's more melee and parry focused versus the previous 2. So
cool.
Welcome back, sir.
You guys look better than ever.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
We'll do it live.
Did you change your shirt?
I changed everything. I told Shon, I said, fuck this. We're pivot.
Redo.
But okay, so Tyler was talking about your guys' sound checks. What's really awesome is like we all know in this day and age that the music is never enough, right? Like there's so much more. Like you can be playing great shows and doing all this stuff, but if you're not active on social media and if you're not chasing the dragon constantly, right? Like it doesn't matter how big you get. Can you guys talk a little bit of what you've done for the Nerd Herd in your Facebook groups and like in your chats? Because I will tell you for the last couple months, Brian has been fucking, first off, he makes us all beg with emojis. And then he will feed us, right? And he finally releases these sound checks. And I think you've done 4 of them so far. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe 4, maybe 5.
But it's great because it gives us this fucking insight. Well, first off, I don't know another band that's doing that with releasing their sound checks. And then obviously because of who you guys are, the way that you do it is so awesome. So like, what came into the thought process of sharing it and doing it that way? And then like, how hard has it been with the social media realm to get out there and find your voice without just the music, right? Because you can't just put clips of music constantly. People will get bored.
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately in this day and age, being active on social media just comes with the territory of being a musician. It wasn't always like that, and it just is that way now. Yeah, that's how people are gonna figure out what your persona is like and all that sort of stuff. So I think it is important to, feed them music, but also feed them yourselves up there. That's to that group. Not every fan is on social media, what's happening at the shows and what's happening, there. And we greet the fans basically at the end of every show. We go to the merch table and we say hi to all the fans, that's another group of people. So, to satisfy the people on social media, my reasoning lately is there was obviously a lot of BS that was kind of going around and surrounding around us recently. And my goal was to really stand up, for the community and stand up for the band, and say like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We have stability. We have presence. We are trying to take this thing as far as it can go still. And together, that's how we're going to make that happen. And it's the band and the fans, that make this thing pop off. And so that's been my goal lately, was to kind of, poke around a little bit, and let people know like we're not going anywhere. We're here and we're human, and I'll talk to you and and be there for you and listen to you and try to get you engaged, even more so. So my goal was to see, how many emojis can I get on this, and every time it comes through.
And it works, man. But what's happening is not only did you take the voice back for Spafford, the band, right? But you also turned your ears on to listen to the fans, right? And you made them feel like they were heard, and they've been supporting you, right? And there's growing pains, and there's going to be a transition that comes from it. But now you guys are about to embark on a huge tour starting in June. I think from the day of recording this, you guys have your live Wax Volume 4 coming out in a couple of days, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Live Wax Volume 4 is coming out, and we're also working on Live Volume 4 is coming out as well. And this band, we're also in the studio right now working on our next studio album.
Oh shit, so you are putting out that, and that's what I was asking Tyler. I was like, are they putting some of these originals back into a new album? So that's fucking amazing, guys. The first thing I want to ask is the live Wax. So like, going through and finding those shows, like for us as fans, we like see you and we're like, oh fuck, I remember when I caught them at this show, right? And it's like, that was fucking wild. For you guys as a band, you're at every single one, right? So how did you go through and how'd you pick, was it Jacksonville? It was Florida. Where were you guys at?
It was Halloween.
Oh, it was the Halloween show. That's fucking awesome. Sorry, Corey. I'm fucking... So did you guys go into those big shows, because you guys have thrown out for your Halloween shows before, right? So did you guys go in with a plan, knowing what you were going to do and kind of knowing that you wanted to record it, or did you finish that set or that show and go, fuck, we need to keep that?
What did happen with that?
Well, I mean, we record every show no matter what.
Of course you do. Well, we follow you on Nugs, right? Like,
so, but then some shows become like, I guess some of the volumes is like our pick, and
that's what I'm saying. So what happens in your mind, Brian or Corey or Nick or Sean, like that you heard and you're like, oh fuck, this is the one?
I think
your idea, Corey, was to do the Halloween.
Yeah. It was. I think we all kind of, I don't know, it was like a 2 a.m. Halloween, so it's got a different vibe than a normal show. And we all remember that as being like, yeah, I don't know what we played, but remember that and remember this moment. Like, that was so much fun. And I think eventually we were like, electric taco stand, that's what it was, that middle part of that jam and awesome. And then, and actually, Sean really liked the Men at Work one, and then we saw that they go into each other, and that's like kind of like half the battle with these vinyl releases because you got about 44 minutes total to work with, and
And I mean, let's not pretend that you guys aren't the fucking band with the longest jam of all time, right? So
it's
like,
it's a tough one.
yeah, so
So
like, how do you guys condense that down? Like, obviously at festivals you have festival sets, right? So you can't fucking go on and on forever. But even then, like, did you guys have to do any editing or cutting to make this set fit onto the volume 4?
we didn't cut anything. Like going back to the very first one, like can't remember what the song was, but the entire track was definitely more than 22 minutes, which is roughly what a side is. And so we're like, just do the jam. So we faded into the jam, and it was like a 22-minute jam. And then we didn't know what we were doing, what we were going to do in the future. Like, we'll just see what comes out, and if it's going to be all jams or whatever. And then eventually came across another song that with the jam fit nicely on, and then we did 2 on a side. And this one actually probably is going to be the first one cohesive piece that moves from one side to the other. So I don't think this is like a spoiler alert or anything, but like it's one big piece. I think it was the Men at Work song Into Electric Taco Stand. We do Men at Work and finish the song, and then we just kept jamming, and then eventually we started the next song. So somewhere in the middle there, just do a light fade, and then you're gonna get up and go, oh shit, I gotta flip it, and then it's gonna.
I'm curious, what Men at Work song was it?
Down Under. Yeah.
Fuck yes. Fucking love Men at Work. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
And so Shon, like, obviously, like, coming in and joining the band now, like, what have been some of your oh shit moments, right? Like, fuck, like, here I am in the middle of this.
Well, my first oh shit moment was when we played Adirondack Fest 80K. And there was like 1,000 people there, like something crazy. I don't know, like more people than I've ever played in front of. And I'm like, oh shit, oh my god, we're gonna play in front of this. And not only that, but right before we went on, something squirrely was happening with my pedals. And so it was kind of like a stressful moment, but Brian came over and talked me through it. And the show was successful, but that was definitely an oh shit.
You fixed it 5 seconds before we started our first song.
Yeah, exactly. It was
5 or
right
7
down to the
seconds.
wire, but we definitely
Literally like trying to get down the bomb, and it's just tick.
Sean sweating bullets.
Yeah, it's like
Oh
the
my
side by
God.
side stage. So like they end their last note. He's like, "All right, I fixed it," and then we started the set.
That's
Basically.
great.
Yeah, I was sweating.
Welcome aboard. So, I mean, you Corey, you talked about Halloween being a vibe. You guys bring a vibe on your own, right? So for me to know, like, where are some of your favorite venues or places to play? You guys are an Arizona band, right? So Arizona has definitely had some of your hottest shows, but where are some of the places that you guys like to go, like to show up to, and are looking forward to? And
Yeah, I mean, the band formed in Arizona, but we since have moved from there. So now we're kind of all scattered around. We don't exactly know where.
you're from
Well, we know where we're from, but we're not sure where we're going.
You're Brian from Spafford. That's all that fucking matters.
And I live in New Jersey right now.
Nice. But so what is it like? Because okay, you started in, but going back and listening to some of the shows and seeing like rankings of the shows, going back to Spaff Nerds, like some of your hottest shows have definitely been in Arizona. So I feel like you definitely have, you guys feed off the crowds, right? So you're gonna have a vibe that's there. Is there other places that you guys we're here in Colorado, right? So we get spoiled. You guys do multiple night runs all the time. The Nerd Herd is strong here in Colorado. Are there specific venues or places that you guys are seeing on your tour and looking forward to? Not more than others, but knowing like, oh fuck, or even it's not even like a venue, you're like, man, I fucking remember that Italian beef that I got in Chicago, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, there's so many. It's so hard to pick from. Because there's rooms that like sound really good and feel really good, which like makes a big impact on us. And a lot of that has to do with like the size of it and like the to like where the PA, the speakers are fucking oriented and like all that type of shit. But food definitely has a lot to do with it too.
As
We
a
played-
small
A man
man,
after
I
my
had
own
to
heart. I
ask,
like to
right?
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Like,
am
we
like,
played
all right,
at
like,
the-
where am I trying to go eat?
Where did like we play? I mean, for me, I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona, so my first experiences with East Coast pizza was pretty profound. And the first ones I had with Brian in New Jersey and in New York. And then, but I think last year we played in Connecticut at Toad's Place, was it that we played? Where we got Sally's and Pepe's and we like compared
That
them?
was the first when we did that comparison, and then we played Park City Music Hall, and we got all four. Like we got Supardi's, Sally's, Pepe's, and something with an N, Nautilus, not something, and put them all side by side and did a pizza off from all four of like the major New Haven pizza places. So
So it sounds like you
basically-
guys are what, pizza connoisseurs.
I would say
Is that-
that, yeah. That's
Do
safe
you,
to say.
okay. So now that we're now let's get into the media. What the important part of the interview is. Do you have a favorite pizza place or style of pizza? I've been real hard on the Detroit style lately with the caramelized cheese crust on the underside from the pan, and that is the shit.
Brian's making faces at you like he's deep in a solo, okay? So
Well, I
you
do
need
this
to
like
chill.
I don't only do this with the band, but I do this in my personal life. I'm always looking for pizza. I mean, like, when I walk into a pizza shop, people think that I'm Dave Portnoy.
One
Walking
point,
into
everyone knows the rules. How's the
Yeah.
undercarriage, Brian?
I know it's the undercarriage. No, but it's funny because the whole food thing is like, we could tell you what like the local delicacy is, like in basically, any city, or any state, if there is one. We've had the best barbecue in Texas, but we've also had the best barbecue in North Carolina, and we've had the best pizza in Chicago, and we've had the best pizza in New York City. I mean, all over the
food
place.
in Arizona and New
Mexican
Mexico.
food in our. We'll
California.
tell you all the spots, out in California, absolutely. We'll tell you all the local spots where to get what. Like you would never think of it, but Ohio, they got the best crispy chicken sandwiches.
I'm from West Virginia originally. I would 100% believe that.
It's just I don't know, if you want a real crispy chicken sandwich, you go to Ohio. That's where you're getting it.
You heard it here first. I know in Indiana they have the flattened pork sandwiches, which are phenomenal, and they're this big. But like, okay, yes, you were very good in your political answer of all these places have all these wonderful things. But we want to know what's the shit like. If you had to pick one place that you're going to be like, all right, fucking last meal on tour, this is what we're doing. What is it?
For
Nick's
pizza?
picking Mexican food.
Well, I'm just gonna interrupt because what's funny is that Brian, Corey, Sean, and I spend so much fucking time together that we have this inside joke that like, and it's like we know each other's farts, and so we say, dude,
That was
I know
not the
your
direction
fart.
I thought we were. Yes, let's talk about it.
Because literally after we eat fucking pizza, we all get gas and we fucking pass gas, and we're in like a rental car, or we're in like a bandwagon, or we're in a fucking 15-passenger van and everybody's passing gas, and it's like, oh, that's fucking Sean's brand today.
I know your farts,
I know
dude.
Sean's. Dude, I know your farts.
Dude,
All
I know
right,
your
all right. So
farts.
then we gotta be real, right? Because like, who's the greasy one where it just sits in the fucking car? Because there's some that are like, mine don't even stink, but some fucking sit on top of you, right? So who are you pointing
Sean,
at?
I don't know. Who, you're pointing to.
Depending on who I'm pointing at, is probably the right
He's
answer.
It
pointing
looks
at
like
Shay.
Probably the fucking
Sucking
truth.
farts anyway.
Because we have a buddy Ryan who literally fucking smells like death. Right? Like the sweetest beer in the world. His insides are dying. He will clear a fucking room and we'll be at a show and he'll crop dust us and we'll be like, fucking
Dude.
like,
Dude,
fuck.
that happens on stage sometimes too. We smell farts from the audience on stage. And we're like looking at each other like, okay, who farted on stage? And nobody's claiming it on stage, so it's got to be somebody in the audience.
Oh, dude, just fucking crop dusting the band. That's fucking terrible.
Railroaders loving it.
Fucking. So we need to turn that into merch, right? Be like, oh, I know your brand. That's fucking Sean's
I
brand.
know your farts, dude.
Dude, but it
And
is.
then
You guys
and
are,
then we changed it. We changed it to "Dude, I Know Your Parts," which is a
oh shit.
musical, which is a musical, not a fucking
Get the fuck out of here, Nick. You know, this is an
not a
explicit
"Dude, I
fucking
know your private
podcast.
parts." It's a "Dude, I know your musical parts."
Yeah, it's not your dick. I'm not talking about your dick.
That's fucking awesome. See, we got merch
Your
all over the
fucking
place.
dick. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Get
fucking
fucked.
beautiful. So, like, this is the shit that happens. Like, you guys have these inside jokes, you share it with fans, and then some fan is making fan art or fucking stickers or off-brand merch or posters or shit like that. And like, I know that you guys, we had Andrew Sachs over in the basement a couple weeks ago for the Dogs in the Pile. I know that he did your guys' tour poster. It's not for this tour though, but or is it for this tour?
He's done a lot of work for us.
I
He's
know
done some
he
merch
has,
stuff
but
for us. Yeah.
he recently he's the one that told me, because when he came on, he's like, bro, you need to talk to the guys at fucking Spafford. Like, these guys are awesome, and you're all fucking terrible. But
Huh.
merch is a real fucking problem for bands, because people don't understand, like, that's how you guys make a lot of your money, right? Like, selling tickets is one thing, but merch is really the biggest thing that helps put money in your pocket. So how has that been for you guys as a band, whether it's posters or shirts or what's going on?
Well, it's not even just putting the money in our pocket, but it's like, it's the best form of advertisement that you can get. Somebody walking around with your name on, on their wall. They have their friends over. They go out to do whatever. They got the hat that says Spafford on it, a shirt that says Spafford on it. You run into somebody else. So that's what it's all about.
It doesn't say officious twerk-feezer?
Tortfeezer. Tort.
Oh, tort. That's why I said it fucking wrong, is
T-O-R-T.
because the subtitles in whatever fucking podcast I watched had it as twerk, like I'm twerking.
Tortfeezer.
Twerk-feezer.
You might have not liked the word as much if you knew it was just Tortfeezer.
No, I did, because it's still fucking really hard to say and spell.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a rough one. That was a bad idea.
It sticks, right? I always say marketing is an emotion, so it makes you feel something. But so, like, for you guys, like, yes, okay, not putting money in your pocket, but you guys do have to pay your bills, right? And so a lot of us as fans don't realize how well that can go. But so how much time are you guys spending in? Because I know that you're spending time on your social media, and I know that you're spending time on merch. For us, what does that process look? Do you guys like put shit out and then it comes back? Do you talk about it as a brand, Brian? Or are you just being like, fuck it, we're just gonna shoot? Like, how does that go?
For the longest time, it was handled all different ways for a long time. Sometimes you get the group to do it, sometimes not. If you have more people involved, it's way more difficult, because then someone's like, I don't like the color red. And it's like, that's not really what we're here to discuss,
Well, why don't you like the color red?
So even myself trying to be involved with it, I try to do it at a minimal now. Our manager, Zach, is incredible at managing all the merch, as well as our merch man, Garrett, is incredible as well. So them combined with some some of the same artists kind of keep popping up for us, because they just have the bands, when you look at their art, you're like, yeah, that's just like the vision of the band. Like, it's amazing. So we tend to like kind of go back to them. And then we always try out new people as well, whether it's like posters and stuff. Chuck on our team, he handles all the posters, so he's in contact with all the artists there. And you're always trying new people, but then like you have like your mainstays as well, and you kind of keep going to them for some of the stuff. But honestly, if you're saying that Andrew Sachs did the poster for this upcoming tour, we don't even get that information until like day one, and then we look and we're like, oh, that's so sick, Andrew did it.
That's kind of fucking dope. So it's like Christmas to you guys too, as it is for us.
Totally.
It is. Like we're trying to focus on the music, man, and we're trying to focus on our own relationships, as a band and at home as well, because there needs to be balance and stability with all that stuff, for us to be able to go out to leave for weeks at a time.
Well, so how is that as a transition, as we're all like getting older, right? I know that for myself, I have 8-year-old and 5-year-old daughters, right? And so like I go out and I leave and I went with him to Arkansas for 10 days for work, right? And it's hard. And so like for you guys as bands and relationships, not just kids, like significant others or friends, right? Like unless like obviously you guys all know each other's parts. So like you're a close family bond, right? But you also have people back home. So how is it balancing some of that?
I've been on the
Brian,
road
you're
for
a fucking road warrior, bro. All of you guys are. I know. I don't know as much about Shon's experience, but I know that you guys were doing 150 plus at least days a year out on the road.
Yeah, I mean, even last year we did over 120. Year before that was close to 140. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly tough when kids come involved. It's certainly tough, but I take this time to shout out to all the wives and girlfriends and fiancés that are involved here, because to be honest with you, it really takes a special kind of woman to allow us to, I don't know, step into our adolescent dreams and still continue to try to fulfill those at an older age, because that part just hasn't changed, and still we're just like young men with visions of wanting to play in front of a lot of people and just wanting to play music for a living, which is something that we're very lucky to be a part of and very lucky to have as a career. But a huge shout out goes to the women that are keeping the household together and alive and loving us through, all of this, because it's certainly not difficult. It's certainly not easy on relationships. And yeah, so a big shout out to the wives, all the wags. We love you so much. So thanks for believing in us and being there for us.
Well, I
Well
think
said.
what they have to do is they see how much you guys get out of it, right? And so that's why you get that support. And so it's awesome that you're able to find somebody to do that, but then also to like give your time back. So for you guys, like when you do get off the road and you've spent some time on the road and you get back, like what are those activities that you're looking for? What's some of the shit we talk about mental health all the time on this show, and like how to keep your sanity, how to recharge, right? You can love something, and if you do it so much, it can still become draining at some point, right? So what are some of these other things or outlets that you guys are finding to recharge?
Walking,
Walking?
exercising. Yeah. Walking, exercising, like just going outside is really helpful for me. I like to I put it down for a couple days. Like I put the music down, because when we're out doing Spafford, like it's just constantly 24 hours a day. We're just going, 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 going. And so I put it down for a couple days and go for walks. And I live in Florida, so I get to go to the beach. It's 5 minutes away. Get my skin in some salt water and take it easy. And then after a couple days, I'm usually probably ready to come back.
You got the itch again.
I like playing with dirt. So me and my fiance just been rolling around, throwing it. No, I'm just kidding. We're just working. It's really nice when you get home and it's finally this time of year. So we're just working in the yard and just chilling, eating good food, taking it easy. My fiance, not so obvious, I guess, but is a live music lover. So there's a lot of music that she wants to see, and I gotta take it easy for a couple days, and then we go see some shows usually.
And where's home for you, Core?
I'm in Plymouth, Mass. I'm I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Moved around for a while now. Me and my fiance live South Shore, Massachusetts. Sean's right above me, just north of Boston. Mm-hmm.
And then Brian's in Jersey. So you guys all on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're all in the same
Yeah.
time zone, which is beneficial.
That's awesome. So then when you guys are off the road, are you able to practice, or how do you do that?
I mean, I find it difficult sometimes. When we're out on the road, we have such a strict schedule. We know exactly what time we need to be up, exactly what time we got to be at rehearsals, what time you can eat, what time you can fart, what time you can go smoke, what time you could do whatever you need to do, what time you're going to get back to the hotel, how much time you're going to get to sleep, and then you do it all over again. And that happens every single day. It's so strict. And when you get home, then you're under at least for me, like I'm under like the schedule of like what my wife needs me to do, like to help around the house. I have a 4-year-old. My son's going to turn 4 this coming Monday, and the stuff that she needs me to do, and to pick up my duties as a dad and a husband around the house, while also retaining my own mental health and doing things for my own mental health as well. And yeah, I go to therapy. Just came back from family therapy before this, which is really beneficial as well.
Dude, fucking normalize it, man.
It's normal. It's normal.
Yeah.
It's great. Especially when the therapist is on my side about things. It's awesome.
Listen, honey, the therapist said I was right. So
you pay extra for that, Brian? Because
Yeah.
I know.
Gratuity tip.
Listen to that again. Can you repeat yourself?
You're like, hold on, I recorded it. Here, do you want to hear it
Yeah.
one more time?
Yeah. No, but to me, all that is normal. And nobody should be worried about that at all, because it's certainly helped my relationship in a lot of ways. It's helped my relationship with myself, and all that stuff is great. So,
and these guys fucking give me shit because they call it toxic positivity, but like I am 1,000% a believer in that, because like coming from trauma and having your bullshit and having relationships, even having a strong relationship and going to therapy with that person doesn't make your relationship weak, right? There's things that you can grow on and learn about, and I think so often people see it in a negative light, and now it's starting to become a little bit more normalized. But for people to know that someone like you is doing that as well, like it helps make it even easier for other people, right? But at the end of the day, it has to start with self-love and being okay with whatever the fuck you're facing.
I mean, no matter what other people may think of us in some way, and that's totally okay. When we come home, and really, I mean, we're just human. And we have human emotions and stuff. We just express it through our instruments, and get the ability to do that, which I'm certainly grateful for.
You should talk to him about the hospital thing.
Yeah,
Tyler,
and
come on.
Yeah,
Tyler.
I'm fucking sitting back here listening.
No, I'm loving it. So a couple things.
That's why we put him behind a computer.
Tell us about your farts, Tyler.
Yeah, well, of please. Shon, I heard you talk about that you do a lot of music with kids. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? How did you get started doing that? And do you get a lot of fulfillment off that when you get back home? Is that kind of your safe spot? How does that feel for you now?
Yeah, so I do music and movement for kids when I'm at home. It's something that I've been doing since like 2015. Going to libraries and singing kids songs and doing birthday parties. And my buddy and I started a company in like 2017, and it really got started during the pandemic. We had like online classes, and that transitioned into us playing at libraries and doing not online classes. And this is for kids between the ages of like 6 months and 5 years old. And I'm just teaching music appreciation. We pass out instruments. We have a good time. We get silly. And it's really not all that different from playing music for adults, because they're just like little drunk people. But yeah, it's super fun. I enjoy it. And
Awesome. Yeah.
Let's not forget that Shon also has a comedy album. And the name of this comedy album is...
Okay, so here's a disclaimer.
I love that everyone.
No disclaimer. No disclaimer.
This is something I came out with in like 2013. When I was doing comedy music. The album's called Big Black Hawk.
Say that quickly again. Can you say that quickly for me?
Yeah, it's Big Black Hawk. It's, say it fast and it means something else. It's an album that I came out with a long time ago, but I have another one coming out eventually, and that one's going to be called Small White Pianist, and that has a title track in the style of Puff the Magic Dragon.
The kids' music.
Excellent.
So eventually you can look forward to that, I guess.
So When are we getting the cover on stage, Brian? Fucking get it together.
Oh my
bud.
god, it's amazing.
It would be silly if we ended up covering one of those.
It'll make you just the right amount of uncomfortable.
That was
I
his
dare you to
audition.
listen to it.
That was his like audition tape to us as well. He's like, "Here, this is what I have," and he sent me Big Black Hawk, and I was like,
wow.
"You're in."
Oh, that's fucking amazing. So, gentlemen, what else? So you have the tour coming out. You're going into the studio. How do you do the studio with all of you being in so many different places? Are you gonna do it while you're on tour? Once you're done, jump back in, or
Yeah, I mean, we had to deliberately carve time out to do that. So we, for us, always looking, I don't know, in on this thing, it looks like we're taking like a really long time off, which we are, but it's also, berated with these studio sessions. So that's currently what we're doing right now. We just came off.
We're in the middle of it.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just came off of one last week. We get the next like week and a half off, and then we go back in and we finish it all up. So
that's fucking awesome.
and then we go on tour.
And then, so you're gonna finish recording before you hit tour on June 12th? Is that the first show?
That's the goal.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking awesome, boys. Well, so where can we follow you guys? Where can they go support you? Where do they buy shit? Plug the band. Let us know about it.
Venmo.com/Spafford Music.
Corey Scheckman, I think it is actually.
Corey
Let's spell
Scheckman.
that last name, Corey. Jesus Christ.
SCHECH TMAN TKACHYK.
Brian, you
Gotta
fucking
know it.
know their parts. You better know how to spell their names.
I know your parts, dude.
But seriously, you guys, thank you so much for coming on. We're really excited to see what's going on with Spafford as you continue to evolve and grow. I know that you won't be here in Colorado anytime soon because you just did a bunch of shows here, but we'll definitely catch you guys the next time. For all the people that are checking this out, make sure to go to Spafford. Is it .net or .com?
.net.
That's what I thought. Spafford.net. Go check out their tour. They're on all the socials, all the streaming platforms. Make sure to check them out. What I will tell you right now is there is no fucking live show like a Spafford show.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks
Really
for
been
having
awesome.
us, guys.
Thanks so much.
Hold on.
What?